Hello everybody, my name is Avantika Jakati and I'm going to be teaching you the second chapter of Class 9 Science, Is Matter Around Us Pure? The heading of the chapter Is Matter Around Us Pure? Here there are two important words that you must consider. The first is matter and the second is pure. So what is matter? I'm sure you have done this. Matter is anything that has mass and volume. So anything that has a certain amount of mass and that occupies a certain amount of space is called matter. Now when we talk about something that is pure, generally जब हम बोलते हैं we talk about things that are not adulterated. जैसे हम pure घी बोलते हैं या फिर pure milk बोलते हैं, जैसे घी में डालडा नहीं डाला या फिर pure गाय का दूध है तो उसमें पानी कम है, पानी नहीं डाला. That is what we mean by pure when we talk about it in general terms. But scientifically, purity means when all the constituent particles are the same. When all the constituent particles are the same. Okay. So if there is, for example, salt or sugar. So salt, जो table salt हम खाते हैं, that is pure sodium chloride. एंड उसमें और कुछ नहीं होता. आजकल अलग अलग टाइप के मिलते हैं नमक, बट व्हेन यू कंसिडर नॉर्मल सॉल्ट इट इज सोडियम क्लोराइड. एंड ऑन व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट शुगर इट इज प्योर सुक्रोज. देयर इज नथिंग एल्स एडेड टू इट, सो इट इज प्योर. इट इज This is the term pure scientifically. So in other words we can say the substance is a pure form of matter. On the other hand, mixture is comprised of two or more pure substances or compounds. So a mixture is is comprised of two or more pure substances. For example, अगर आपने चीनी और नमक को मिला दिया ऐसे, if you take salt and if you take sugar and just mix it in a katori, you get a mixture of salt and sugar, right? So that is mixture which is comprised of two or more pure substances or compound. Okay. So coming to the type of mixtures, there's an experiment that is given in your books. So of course you cannot do it now. This was supposed to be done in the school, but at least I can explain to you कि इसका मतलब क्या है. So you were supposed to divide your class into 4 groups. एक group करेगा 1 spatula full of copper sulfate in 50 ml of water. Copper sulfate पता है सबको? Have you seen it? It is nice blue. It has a nice blue color. It's a powder or crystals, very bright blue in color. So when you dissolve it in water, it gives blue colored water. So one group will do 50 ml water and 1 spatula full of copper sulfate, right? The second group will do 50 ml water and 2 spatulas full of copper sulfate. You'll get a deeper blue color. And group C and D will mix copper sulfate powder with potassium permanganate powder or salt and without any water. So just mix the powders together एक bowl में. So what you see here, type A and type B, you will get a homogeneous mixture. What is a homogeneous mixture? Which means that it is uniformly uh, comprised. It has a uniform composition. Any side you see it from, you will not be able to differentiate it. It will look the same from everywhere, which is why it is called a homogeneous mixture. And the second one is a heterogeneous mixture, which means अगर आपने सिर्फ कॉपर सल्फेट की पाउडर और सॉल्ट उसमें डाल दिया तो आपको व्हाइट एंड ब्लू अलग अलग दिखेगा, right? That is different. Those are different things, and from different point perspectives you can see it differently. कहीं ज़्यादा blue होगा, कहीं ज़्यादा white होगा. So that is a heterogeneous mixture where you can see the components separately, right? Again, as I said, homogeneous mixtures have a uniform composition. From anywhere you see, they are the same. Here, the prefix homo, it always refers to same, which means it looks the same from everywhere. And here, the prefix hetero means different, which means the components are physically separate. You can see them separately. Coming to the next type of mixtures, we have solutions, suspensions, and colloids. Again, here there's an experiment that you can do at home. Okay, so in the first one, you take a glass of water and you put maybe a teaspoon of salt in it, right? Then you take some atta or chalk powder, whatever you have, and then you put it in 1 glass of water. and then you take 1 teaspoon of milk or a few drops of milk and you put it in water, right? और ये 3 ग्लास पानी आप एक के बाद एक रखिए, just mix it with thoroughly and then shine torch light through those mixtures. So like this, here there's torch and then you have these glasses of water and then you just shine some torch light through those mixtures, right? When you shine torchlight through salt water, you will see that light passes through it. यानी ये जैसा है, light इसमें से pass हो जाएगा, पर आपको दिखेगा नहीं कि light कैसे pass हो रहा है, या फिर उसमें कुछ suspended नहीं दिखेगा. It will be like water, right? उसमें you will not be able to differentiate between water and salt water unless you taste it, right? Taste मत करो. अभी सिर्फ देखना है, physical properties देखनी है हमें. So you will be able to see, you will not be able to see any difference. It will only look like water. The second one, you mix it properly and then shine a torchlight through it. You will see that the light gets reflected from the particles and then particle size is large. It's a very large size particles which eventually if you just keep the glass for a little while, वो अपने आप settle down हो जाएगा. उसमें थोड़े छोटे छोटे particles थोड़ी देर float करेंगे, but eventually even they will settle down. So, and then third one, here in milk and water you will see that the light is hazy, यानी जो इधर से आएगा, for example this one, you will be able to see that the light is hazy, थोड़ा translucent दिखेगा, and the path of light can be seen but particles cannot be seen. यहाँ पे जैसे particles दिख रहा था, large size particles, इसमें you will not be able to see individual particles but you will be able to see the path of light, right? So salt in water is called a solution. Atta or sand in water is called a suspension. Milk in water is called a colloid. We will see each of these in detail. Oh, and here there's another experiment where you can see that if you filter all of these, salt in water filter नहीं होता. Salt उस पे पेपर पे नहीं आएगा. I don't know if you can do this at home. You can probably take a thick paper and then pass it through it. पर शायद नहीं कर पाओगे. And you can or you have a very thin this piece of cloth and then you can also try to do that. But when you filter आटा और sand in water, you will see कि पानी नीचे आ जाएगा और आटा और sand ऊपर रह जाएगा, right? कोलॉइड में भी अगर आप फिल्टर करते हो तो सेपरेट नहीं होगा, right? When you are doing filtration, only आटा और sand in water will get filtered. बाकी सब वैसे ही रहेगा. This is from your book. So coming to solutions. This is for example salt in water or sugar in water, they are all solutions. एक बार आपने चीनी या नमक डाल दिया पानी में, you cannot see the difference, you cannot make out कि वो पानी है या उसमें salt है या sugar है. So solutions can be liquid in liquid, solid in solid or gas in gas. It's not necessary कि ये solid in liquid ही हो, जैसे salt in water or sugar in water are solid in liquid. You can also have liquid in liquid like acetone in water. Acetone is nail polish remover. अगर एक दो drops आपने पानी में डाले तो आपको पता भी नहीं चलेगा कि उसमें डाला हुआ है. Or you can have solid in solid. For example, alloys. Alloys are a mixture of two metals or a metal and non-metal. And for example, brass या bronze, आपके पास कुछ कभी हो सकता है घर में, you have some बर्तन made of brass or bronze, which are actually a mixture of copper and zinc or copper and tin together. You can also have gas in gas, which is what we observe around us. You cannot see air, of course, but air is a homogeneous mixture of different gases. So oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, argon, ये सब different gases air में present है in a solution form, homogeneously distributed. So solution में there are two parts, solvent and solute. Now we will see what it means. Solvent is in higher amount and solvent is in higher amount and solute is in a lower amount. You can see that the word solvent is longer than the word solute. So you can just say कि solvent नाम लंबा है, तो it is also higher quantity in the solution. Or you can also say that solvent is something that you put the solute in. Solvent के अंदर आप solute डाल रहे हो, राइट। जैसे पानी है, उसमें अपने सॉल्ट डाला या शुगर डाला, तो पानी इज द सॉल्वेंट एंड शुगर और salt are the solutes. This is liquid and these are solid. You can also have liquid and gas. This is जैसे सोडा बनाते हैं तब वाटर में कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड प्रेशर से डालते हैं, जैसे कोका कोला वगैरह में जो फिज होता है दैट इज कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड. सो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इज द सोल्यूट बिकॉज इट इज in lower amount. You can also have this is called tincture of iodine. You don't need to know this, I think, but tincture of iodine is a good example of liquid and liquid mixture. So alcohol and iodine. Alcohol is the solvent जिसके अंदर हम iodine को dissolve करते हैं. Okay. So coming to the properties of solutions. Solutions are homogeneous. A solution is a homogeneous mixture, which means any side you see it from, it looks the same. You cannot distinguish between the different particles or the components of the mixture. The particle size is smaller than 1 nanometer. 1 nanometer is 10 raised to power minus 9 meter in diameter, so very small. The particles of solutions are, the solute particles are smaller than 1 nanometer. दे डू नॉट स्कैटर अ बीम ऑफ लाइट. राइट, हमने जो लाइट का आप अगर करोगे तो आपको दिखेगा कि आप उसमें टॉर्च लाइट डालते हो तो इट डज नॉट स्कैटर अ बीम ऑफ लाइट एंड इट कैन नॉट बी फिल्टर्ड, विच मीन्स दैट द सोल्यूशन इज स्टेबल. जो है वैसा ही रहेगा अनलेस यू डू सम सेपरेशन टेक्निक. पर अगर आप वैसे ही खड़ा फिल्टर करोगे तो नहीं होगा एंड इट डज नॉट सेटल डाउन इफ लेफ्ट अनडिस्टर्ब्ड. Looking at the concentration of solution, so we have three different concentrations. You can say that dilute, concentrated and saturated. Now what are these? जैसे एक एग्जाम्पल आपने किया था, अगर if you were in school you would have done that, कि कॉपर सल्फेट डाला पानी में, then you have two spatulas of copper sulfate, वो थोड़ा डार्क ब्लू होता है. So basically dilute means थोड़ा सा डाला and there's a little bit of solute in the solvent. If you add more solute in the solvent, it becomes more concentrated. In the same amount of solvent अगर आपने और डाला तो उसको concentrate कहते हैं. And then you have saturated solution. For example, saturated solution आप, you can have an experiment at home. आप एक ग्लास पानी लीजिए, उसमें you keep adding sugar, 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 sugar as much as you can. Right? There will be a point where you cannot add any more sugar. नॉर्मल टेम्परेचर पे आप अगर वो ग्लास में शुगर डालते रहोगे, देर विल बी अ पॉइंट वेयर यू कैन नॉट ऐड एनी मोर शुगर, वो जाएगा ही नहीं. देन व्हाट डू? यू मस्ट हैव सीन योर पेरेंट्स डू इट, कि अगर उसमें शक्कर और डालनी तो उसको थोड़ा गर्म करो. राइट, पर दैट पॉइंट नॉर्मल टेम्परेचर पे वेयर यू ऐड शुगर टू सच एन एक्सटेंट कि उसमें और शुगर नहीं जाता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड अ सैचुरेटेड सोल्यूशन. So please remember, saturated solution is always at a given temperature. At a given temperature, when no more solute can be added to the solvent, it is called a saturated solution, and that point is called the saturation point. And the amount of solute added to the solvent to reach the saturation point is called the solubility of the solvent or the solute. राइट, यानी अगर आपने फॉर एग्जाम्पल 100 ml पानी लिया, उसमें आपने 20 मिलीग्राम शुगर डाले, उसके बाद और शुगर नहीं डिजोल्व हो रही है, सो at 20 milligram you will say that this is a saturated water sugar solution, and the amount of solute that was added, which was 20 milligram in 100 ml, is the solubility of sugar. Right, उसे नीचे कितना भी हो, either dilute or concentrated, it is called a saturated solution. Okay, coming to solubility, now these are two important points that you must understand here. Very important to understand. Solubility is different, okay, for different solutes in the same solvent at the same given temperature. Different solutes we can consider, for example, salt, or we can consider sugar, and same solvent we can consider water, and temperature, same given temperature we can consider room temperature. So we will see that for different solutes you can add different amounts in the same amount of water at the same given temperature, right? So solubility is different for different solutes. यानी sugar and salt के लिए अलग होगा पानी में room temperature पे, right? But this is also important. For example, if you take only one solute and you take water and you take for example 25 degrees Celsius and you take 50 degrees Celsius, two different temperatures. आप केल्विन में करते हो, you should convert this. Different in same solute, different for same solute in the same solvent at different temperatures. यानी कितना शुगर आप पानी में 25 डिग्री सेल्सियस पे डाल सकते हो, उससे ज्यादा शुगर आप उतने ही पानी में 50 डिग्री सेल्सियस के लिए डाल सकते हो, राइट? सो फर्स्ट यू नो कि solubility is different for different solutes and solubility is different for the same solute at different temperatures, given that the solvent remains the same. Understood? So we go to expression of concentration of solution. The first way we can express the concentration of solution mathematically is mass by mass. So mass of solute, always remember it is solute upon solvent. Solution, never solvent. It is always solute upon solution. Mass of solute upon mass of solution is mass by mass concentration. For example, we can say हमने 20 ग्राम salt 200 ग्राम water में डाला, so we can consider that as mass by mass. Or you can have mass by volume. You can have, for example, 20 ग्राम आपने salt 100 ml पानी में डाला, volume is ml, 100 ml पानी में डाला, तो 100 ml solution में डाला, यानी टोटल मिला के वो 100 ml हो गया, तब उसको हम mass by volume कहते हैं. And the third is volume by volume. It is represented by V by V. This is something that you will see nowadays. अब अगर आप observe करोगे, आजकल कोरोना वायरस के टाइम में hand sanitizers बहुत निकल रहे हैं, and we have been told that we should take 70% ethanol वाला hand sanitizer, at least 70% ethanol हो. What is 70% ethanol? It means volume of solute. The solute here is ethanol, which is alcohol. So 70 ml of ethanol in percent में, which means always by 100. Volume of solution. So 70% 70 ml of ethanol upon 100 ml of solution into 100, which means 70 ml आपने pure ethanol लिया, pure, okay, remember the word pure. 70 ml आपने pure ethanol लिया, and then to make 100 ml solution आप क्या करोगे, 100 में से आपके पास 70 ml तो ethanol है, बचा कितना, you have 30 ml left, right? You add 30 ml water into pure ethanol, then you get a 70% volume by volume ethanol, 70% volume by volume ethanol. You will see this V by V written on your sanitizers. कभी पीछे उसको देखो, you will see, you will know what it means. So 70% of ethanol is present in 100 ml of solution. So उसका मतलब 70 ml ethanol and 30 ml water आप दोनों add करोगे तो 100 ml हो जाएगा. So in 100 ml of solution 70 ml of ethanol is present, right? So these are the ways that we express the concentration of a solution. Okay, so this is an example that is given in your book. We will try to solve it here, so आपको थोड़ा सा clear हो जाएगा. A solution contains 40 gram of common salt in 320 gram of water. Now what do we know? 40 gram of common salt will be the solute, which is 40 gram, and water is the solvent, which is 320 gram. Solution कितना हुआ? 40 plus 320 gram, which is 360 gram, right? 360 gram आपके पास solution है. Remember, solute plus solvent gives the solution. Calculate the concentration in terms of mass by mass percentage. What is mass by mass percentage? Solute, mass of solute upon mass of solution. So this is what we have done. Mass of solute is 40 gram, mass of solvent is 320 gram, mass of solution is 360 gram. So mass percentage is mass of solute, which is 40, mass of solution, which we calculated here as 360 into 100, which is 11.1%. Okay, this is given in your book. Coming to the next type of mixture, which is a suspension. So if you have, आपने अगर वो experiment किया तो आप देखोगे अगर आटा इन वाटर डालो या चॉक पाउडर इन वाटर डालो या थोड़ा सैंड इन वाटर डालो, you will see that it is non homogeneous, यानी वो हर जगह से सेम नहीं दिखता है, and eventually the particles are so large that they settle down. Suspensions can be solid in liquid or liquid in liquid. Liquid in liquid का suspension का example है oil in water for example, क्योंकि oil and water आप उसको अच्छे से mix भी करोगे तो you will see globules of oil and eventually वो separate हो जाएगा. So solid in liquid जैसे ऊपर का है या फिर liquid in liquid. अब इसके properties क्या हैं? We know that suspensions are heterogeneous. They don't look the same. You can see the separate components of the mixture. The particles are large enough to be seen by the naked eye. The particles scatter light when it is shown through the mixture. अगर आपने टॉर्च लाइट डालो तो particles scatter करते हैं and they're very large and eventually वो settle down करते हैं if you leave them undisturbed. Okay. Then we go to colloids. Now I'll first go to properties of colloids. Colloids are also heterogeneous. हमने क्या देखा? Solutions are homogeneous, suspensions are heterogeneous, colloids are also heterogeneous. The particle size is too small to be observed by the naked eye. Suspension और colloids में यही difference है. ये difference है कि suspension में particle size large होता है, colloids में particle size is very very small. But solution and colloid में again there is one more difference कि particles are big enough to scatter a beam of light. Solution में solutions are homogeneous and they don't scatter a beam of light. Colloids में they scatter a beam of light and the path of light is visible, right? They are quite stable, और अगर suspension की तरह उसको थोड़ी देर के लिए रख दिया तो they do not settle down. They remain like that in that form and they cannot be filtered but they can be centrifuged. We will see what centrifugation means. We possibly also already know about it, but filter paper से डाल के it cannot be filtered. Unlike a suspension, suspension can be filtered, solution cannot be filtered, colloid cannot be filtered. Again, here we saw that the path of light is visible when it is shown through it. This is called a Tyndall effect. It is named after the scientist who observed it first. What is Tyndall effect? I'll show you these photographs. Oh, I'm sorry about the lines. Okay. So Tyndall effect, this is, for example, this is a solution and this is a colloid. You can see that when the light is shown through it, you can see the path of light. Here you cannot see the path of light, and here you can see that the this mixture is a bit hazy. It is not very clear, and you can see the path of light. This is called Tyndall effect. इसका कॉमनली घर पे देखा हुआ, अगर आपका कभी किसी रूम में गए हो जहाँ से धूप आती है एंड योर रूम इज बीइंग डस्टेड, यहाँ पे डस्ट हो रही है, कारपेट झटका है, तो यू विल सी समथिंग लाइक दिस कि विंडो से लाइट आ रही है और वो ऐसे दिख रही है. This is called the Tyndall effect when you can see the path of light. This is because of dust particles, and here you have smoke, so it also happens because of smoke. So if you have smoke particles in air, they also show Tyndall effect. So when you can see the path of light like this here, it is called the Tyndall effect. बुक में आपके एक अच्छा सा फोटो दिया हुआ है, where you can see the Tyndall effect with trees and जंगल में से कैसा दिखता है. Okay, colloids have a dispersion medium and a dispersed phase. We can compare this to generally compare this to a solution where you have a solvent and a solute. So dispersion medium is like the solvent, it is in a higher concentration, higher amount. Dispersed phase in the lower amount. For example, अगर हमने पीछे देखा था dust particles in air, normal air is the dispersion medium and the dust particles are the dispersed phase. Okay, so here is something else that you can see. This is from your book. You have different types of colloids. This is important for you to remember. Please remember and read and remember this table properly. You can see that in different dispersion media, You can have different dispersed phases, and they all have different names, right? For example, gas के अंदर अगर आपका liquid या solid है, they are both called aerosols, right? जैसे हमने अभी स्मोक की बात की, स्मोक इज सॉलिड पार्टिकल्स होते हैं छोटे छोटे, वो स्मोक में उड़ते हैं, एंड इन गैस दे आर एरोसोल्स, राइट? लाइक स्मोक, ऑटोमोबाइल एग्जॉस्ट, यहाँ पे लिक्विड जैसे वाटर वेपर अगर एयर में है तो फॉग बन जाता है, दैट इज ऑल्सो एन एरोसोल, दैट इज अ कोलॉइड. Again, liquid में you can have all three phases: gas, liquid, solid. You can have liquid में gas is foam, liquid में liquid is emulsion. For example, अपना milk is an emulsion because it has liquid and this is water and oil in, as in fats in it. So liquid and solid, you have sols. And then in solid dispersion medium, you have gas, liquid and solid. So you have different names and you have to remember these, right? Because these are very important. You can be asked a question on this कि ये इसमें कौन सा dispersion medium है और कौन सा dispersed phase है. So you must remember that. Okay. Okay, coming to separation. If we have to separate the components of a mixture, so how do we do it? There are various methods we can use: evaporation, centrifugation, separating funnel, sublimation, chromatography, distillation, fractional distillation, and crystallization. We will see all of these in detail ahead. Coming to evaporation. I am sure you all know what evaporation is. Evaporation is conversion of liquid to vapor. पानी evaporate हो जाता है. पानी अगर कहीं पे गिर गया, after a while it disappears because it gets converted to water vapor. So that is evaporation. How do we separate a mixture using evaporation? This is something you can also do. This is from your book, right? So if you have ink and water, पानी में थोड़ा ink डालो and you heat it in a glass dish, the water will evaporate and the ink gets left behind. Ink का जो powder residue होता है वो रह जाता है उसको. That is also how you can separate a mixture. What you can do is you can have a little bit of salt in water. थोड़ा सा पानी लो, उसमें थोड़ा सा salt डालो, अच्छी तरह से घोल दो, and then you leave it aside. बाहर you just keep it in the sun. अभी sun नहीं होगा, बारिश हो रही है तो, but if you have sun you can just keep it in the sun for a while, and eventually you will see that the water is evaporated and there's white color का ऐसा वो residue रह गया प्लेट पे या जिस पे भी आपने रखा है कटोरी में. You will see that वो that is evaporation. You have separated the mixture. Then you have centrifugation. What is centrifugation? Centrifugation is rapid spinning of a mixture or substance on which a centrifugal force acts. वो ना ऐसे गोल गोल घूमता है and centrifugal acts outside and the particles get deposited at the bottom depending on their size, on their density. There are different kinds of centrifugation. You don't need to know all that right now. And when you spin it very fast, the particles get deposited at the bottom. That is also one way you can separate the mixtures. We have seen this in colloids. Colloids में बोला था कि it can be done by centrifugation. Crudely आपने घर पे देखा होगा when you have for example आपने you must have seen your parents, they remove दूध की मलाई निकालते हैं and they keep it in your fridge, right? And then after a while you remove all that cream, then you put water in it and then you churn it. उसमें से क्या होता है, चर्न करते तो वो गोल गोल घूमता है एंड फिर उसमें से जो बटर होता है वो ऊपर ऐसे ऊपर आ जाता है एंड वो पानी जो होता है वो नीचे रह जाता है. सो यू रिमूव. दैट इज अ क्रूड वे ऑफ सेइंग कि वो सेंट्रीफ्यूज किया, चर्निंग किया उसका. और यू कैन ऑल्सो सी इन वॉशिंग मशीन दैट इज बेटर. जैसे रैपिड स्पिन होता है थोड़ा कपड़े सुखाने के लिए, यू जस्ट पुट द फास्ट, बहुत फास्ट घूमता है एंड इवेंचुअली थोड़ा उसमें से पानी निकल जाता है. This is used in diagnostic labs especially, or is also used in a lot of biological research में बहुत use होता है, especially if you do some any kind of biology, उसमें chemistry में भी in fact, but biology में it is used very often. This is a centrifugation की machine which is normally used in biology के labs. This is a machine, this is called the rotor, एंड उसके अंदर आप ट्यूब्स डालते हो, वो गोल गोल घूमता है, ऐसा जोर जोर से घूमता है. व्हेन दिस इज लाइक अ मिक्सचर, इवेंचुअली ऐसे एक छोटा सा बाहर ऐसे हो जाता है. एंड फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू कैन सी दिस इज अ मिक्सचर, ग्रीन कलर्ड मिक्सचर. सेंट्रीफ्यूगेशन करके उसका 1 2 3 कंपोनेंट्स सेपरेट हो गए. यू कैन रिमूव दोज कंपोनेंट्स, राइट? This is how you can separate components using centrifugation. Then you can also use a separating funnel. This is for immiscible liquids, for example oil and water. If you have oil and water, usko mix karo and then you pour it in this separating funnel. Eventually oil ऊपर आ जाएगा, water नीचे आ जाएगा. You can use this stopcock to separate those individually. उसको थोड़ी देर अगर रखेंगे, they separate very beautifully and then you can remove them individually, right? This is how you use separating funnel. It is for immiscible liquids. This is also used in iron ore purification, where ore का slag होता है, which is the impurities जो iron ore में होते हैं. They float on the top and molten iron settles down and then you can just remove it. That is, you can do that. The next one is sublimation. I hope you know what sublimation means. Sublimation is the conversion from solid state directly to gaseous without any kind of heating. On heating without any kind of liquid state, यानी it gets solid to gas, उसमें liquid नहीं बनता. जैसे अगर आप if you take ice and if you melt it, it becomes water first. It doesn't directly become water vapor. But there are certain solids which become directly gas when they get heated. For example, camphor and naphthalene. Camphor आपने देखा होगा, पूजा में यूज करते हैं, व्हाइट कलर का. उसमें आग लगा दो तो there is nothing left behind ना, वो जल जाता है. It becomes a gas. There is no liquid left behind. और naphthalene balls होते हैं, moth balls होते हैं घर में. Eventually वो छोटे छोटे हो जाते हैं. You don't see any liquid. That is called sublimation. Here you can use sublimation to separate a mixture of camphor and salt. For example, this is a mixture and then you heat it. यहाँ पे आपने कॉटन प्लग लगाया so that it doesn't go out. And heat करके कैम्फर जो है वो गैशियस स्टेट में चला जाएगा और ऊपर चला जाएगा. यहाँ ऊपर आते आते उसका टेम्परेचर कम हो जाएगा एंड देन इट स्टार्ट्स टू सॉलिडिफाई अगेन एंड यहाँ पे उसके डिपॉजिट बन जाएंगे. सॉल्ट डज नॉट सब्लाइम, विच इज वाई सॉल्ट रिमेन्स हियर. एंड कैम्फर जो है वो यहाँ साइड पे आ जाएगा एंड देन यू कैन स्क्रेप इट ऑफ एंड यू कैन हैव बोथ डिफरेंट सॉलिड्स सेपरेटेड. देन यू हैव क्रोमेटोग्राफी. नाउ क्रोमेटोग्राफी क्या होता है? Please keep in mind where the word chrome comes. Chrome, chroma, it means color, right? So chromatography is a technique of separation in which difference in solubility in a solvent is used to separate the components of a mixture. यानी इसमें पिछले में हमने हीट करके देखा, उसका सब्लिमेशन करके देखा, स्पीड लगा के देखा. इसमें व्हाट आर वी यूजिंग? वी आर यूजिंग द प्रॉपर्टी कि एक सॉल्वेंट में, वी हैव रेड दिस राइट, एक सॉल्वेंट में डिफरेंट सोल्यूट्स डिसॉल्व डिफरेंटली, राइट? तो सोल्यूबिलिटी किसी किसी सोल्यूट की ज्यादा होती है सॉल्वेंट में, किसी किसी सोल्यूट की कम होती है सेम सॉल्वेंट में. एंड दिस इज व्हाट इज यूज्ड इन क्रोमेटोग्राफी. This is from your book. You take a piece of paper. You can also do this at home quite easily, right? उसको ना आप ऐसे एक you take this piece of paper, एक लाइन बनाओ, यहाँ पे ऐसे डॉट डालो इंक का, ब्लैक इंक का, राइट? उसे अच्छा तरह से डॉट डालो and then you put it in some water. For example, the water should not touch this line or this dot. इतना पानी डालो. Eventually the water starts to move up like this, right? And it will take the ink along with it. पर पूरा ink साथ में नहीं जाएगा. जैसे पानी ऊपर ऊपर जाएगा तो उसके साथ there are some components which will rise along with the water and जो थोड़ा धीरे धीरे sluggish जाएंगे. For example here ये ink spot है and then water level यहाँ ऊपर ऊपर जा रहा है, it keeps going up and then you can see different components being separated from the black ink, right? So the difference in solubility, you can see that this one is the most soluble in water, इसलिए वो पानी के साथ बह गया, और ये कम soluble है इसलिए वो पीछे रह गया, right? This is less soluble, this is more soluble. So difference in solubility in a solvent is used to separate the components of a mixture. There are two phases in that. So you can have a mobile phase and a stationary phase. Mobile phase is, for example, इसमें पानी which is used, which moves up, it is called the mobile phase, जो move करता है. And stationary phase in this case is the paper जिसके ऊपर आपने dot रखा, which is not moving. ये ऐसे रखा है पेपर, उसके ऊपर पानी ऐसे ऐसे ऊपर जा रहा है. This is the stationary phase. In this case it is paper. And mobile phase is the water. Okay, this is the basic of chromatography. सो क्रोमेटोग्राफी इज यूज टू सेपरेट कलर्स इन अ डाई. जैसे आपने देखा ब्लैक इंक में, इट यू कैन यूज इट टू सेपरेट डिफरेंट कंपोनेंट्स ऑफ नेचुरल कलर्ड पिगमेंट्स और फ्रॉम ड्रग्स फ्रॉम ब्लड. ओके, देन वी कम टू डिस्टिलेशन. डिस्टिलेशन इज यूज्ड फॉर मिसिबल लिक्विड्स. हमने इमिसिबल लिक्विड्स के लिए सेपरेटिंग फनल यूज किया था. मिसिबल लिक्विड्स यानी जो मिक्स होते हैं, इमिसिबल लिक्विड्स आर दोज दैट डोंट मिक्स. ऑयल एंड वाटर डोंट मिक्स. मिसिबल लिक्विड्स मिक्स विथ ईच अदर. फॉर एग्जाम्पल एसीटोन इन वाटर. एसीटोन इन वाटर अगर आप नेल पॉलिश रिमूवर पानी में डाले, इट इज मिसिबल, यू डोंट सी इट एनीमोर. In this, the difference in boiling point of component liquid should be more than 25 Kelvin. Right? It should be higher than 25 Kelvin. Boiling point आपको पता है, boiling point दोनों के difference होना चाहिए more than 25 Kelvin. अब इस केस में, इस मिक्सचर में acetone is volatile. This is from your book, right? तो इसमें हम मिक्सचर ऑफ एसिटोन एंड वाटर लेते हैं, विच यू कांट रियली फिगर आउट कि वो मिक्सचर है, वो वैसे ही दिखता है. यू हीट इट at a temperature, at a low temperature, at a not very high temperature, because acetone is volatile, it will evaporate very quickly. So वो थोड़ा सा लो टेम्परेचर पे उसको हीट करते हैं. एसीटोन वेपर स्टार्ट टू राइज. सिंस दिस इज द ओनली प्लेस टू गो, दे गो डाउन. यहाँ पे वो कंडेंसर होता है, वो ठंडा हो जाता है, कंडेंस होता है. कंडेंसेशन क्या होता है? फ्रॉम गैसियस स्टेट टू लिक्विड स्टेट, right? So it comes down, it gets condensed, and then it gets collected here. So this is how you, and you have to keep in mind कि difference ज़्यादा होना चाहिए, because you have to be able to modulate the temperature that way. अगर आप heat कर रहे हो तो, for example अगर आपने 40 डिग्री पे heat किया, वाटर का बॉइलिंग पॉइंट कितना होता है? 100 डिग्री सेल्सियस और 373 केल्विन, राइट? 373 केल्विन. तो उससे कम आपको हीट करना है. यू हैव टू हीट इट एट लाइक 60 डिग्रीज और सो. एसीटोन विल इवेपोरेट, एसीटोन नीचे आ जाएगा, वाटर रिमेन्स देयर. It is important to know that the liquid should not decompose on heating. There are certain liquids जिसको आप heat करते हो तो उसके components अलग हो, chemically कुछ हो जाता है. So that is important for distillation. Okay. Then we come to fractional distillation. So fractional distillation is used for a mixture of liquids where the difference in boiling point is less than 25 Kelvin. Distillation is used for those where the boiling point difference is more than 25 Kelvin. जिसका 25 Kelvin से कम है, we use something called fractional distillation. It's used in the case of petroleum products such as petrol, diesel, kerosene and stuff like that. इसमें we use, this is a simple fractionating column. It is called a fractionating column, right? This thing that is added here is called a fractionating column. इसमें glass beads डाले हैं, and glass beads में ये condense हो जाता है, and when it condenses, जो यहाँ पे condense होता है वो नीचे आ जाता है, and then whatever is lighter, whatever is more volatile keeps going up and then condenses down here. Okay, so there will, अगर दोनों साथ में ऊपर गए, राइट? दोनों साथ में एकदम इवेपोरेट होके ऊपर गए, बट देयर आर सम दैट कंडेंस हियर, क्योंकि वो थोड़े हायर टेम्परेचर पे बॉईल होते हैं, तो वो यहाँ कंडेंस हो जाते हैं, एंड जो लोअर टेम्परेचर पे होते हैं वो यहाँ कलेक्ट हो जाते हैं. सो दिस इज वन वे यू कैन डू फ्रैक्शनल डिस्टिलेशन. You can also do fractional distillation to separate the components of air. Now this is a bit tricky here, complicated for you to understand. आपके ना book में you have been given a table where you have been told the temperatures of the boiling point of gas of these elements. Now you have to understand कि जो gas होता है oxygen, for example nitrogen है, nitrogen is liquid at -196 degrees Celsius. This is at -196 degree Celsius. So उसके ऊपर जितना भी होगा it is always gas. Like argon is, ये आपके बुक में भी दिया हुआ है, oxygen is -183 degrees Celsius. So you put air, you take normal air, you compress it and you cool it. Cool करके उसका temperature एकदम कम कर दिया, compress कर दिया, उसको volume and temperature कम कर दिया, तो फिर वो liquid बन जाता है. Now carbon dioxide comes out as dry ice. Carbon dioxide freezes at -57 degrees Celsius, that is dry ice. And यहाँ से वो फिर liquid जो है यहाँ आ जाता है, थोड़ा सा हीट किया. फॉर एग्जाम्पल नाउ इफ यू इमेजिन दैट दिस इस मिक्सचर का टेम्परेचर इज -200 डिग्री सेल्सियस, वेरी वेरी लो, राइट? -200 डिग्री सेल्सियस हुआ. अगर आपने उसको 5 डिग्री हीट किया, 5 डिग्री हीट किया तो कितना हुआ? -195 डिग्री सेल्सियस. This is higher than the boiling point of nitrogen, which is why nitrogen comes out, right? पहले nitrogen निकल जाएगा. So here you see nitrogen out. Then you heat it again to maybe थोड़ा और heat किया, you come to minus 185 degree Celsius. आर्गन निकल जाएगा. आर्गन का 186 होता है, -186. -185 किया तो it is more than the boiling point of argon, so argon comes out as gas. This is still lower than the boiling point of oxygen, तो liquid oxygen यहाँ रह जाता है. So this is how you can do the fractional distillation of components of air. Okay. The next one is crystallization. Now crystallization is basically formation of crystals. So this book के example में ऐसे दिया है कि आपने पानी में अगर कॉपर सल्फेट डाला और इसको फिल्टर कर दिया to remove impurities, it is a solution, so copper sulfate and water won't separate, right? So impurities निकल जाएंगे. You keep that bowl aside, the water will evaporate and it will have a saturated solution, and then you keep it undisturbed for a day at room temperature, right? And you will see something like this. You will see these crystals are being formed. ये जो crystals है बड़े बड़े, they are pure copper sulfate. ये जो ऊपर लगा है इसमें ना कभी कभी impurities होते हैं, so we don't consider that, but these crystals are pure copper sulfate. This can be done for purification of salts. Salts कभी कभी हमने evaporation में देखा, separation में, कि आपने salt and water डाला, उसको heat कर दिया, तो you get salt left behind. But it is quite possible कि आपने जो salt use किया था वही, it is not NaCl, it is NaCl plus something else. It will all be left behind. But in this case, you can use that to specifically precipitate, specifically have certain crystals of certain salts. Alum मैंने फिटकारी उसका भी purification के लिए use करता है. Sugar के प्योरिफिकेशन के लिए भी यूज कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज वो हीट करके इट बर्न्स, वो कैरामलाइज हो जाता है. पहले वो केक्स में यूज करते हैं, देखो कैरामल ब्राउन कलर का, एंड इफ यू कीप हीटिंग इट, इट बर्न्स, इट बिकम्स ब्लैक. सो यू हैव टू यूज क्रिस्टलाइजेशन फॉर प्योरिफिकेशन ऑफ शुगर. This is a scheme for water purification. I am not sure how important it is, but पता होना चाहिए because this is a diagram which is given in your book. So you have this reservoir of water, you allow it to settle in a sedimentation tank. तो मेन जो सस्पेंशन वाला होता है, तो सस्पेंशन वाले सारे बिग पार्टिकल्स विल सेटल डाउन. देन सस्पेंडेड इम्प्योरिटीज, अगर छोटा छोटा कोई रह गया हो particles, you keep it there and it will again settle down. Then you pass it through these different degrees of size. पतले छोटे छोटे पहले निकल जाएंगे, and eventually they'll all settle down, all impurities will settle down. Then they come to chlorination tank. उसमें क्लोरीन से ट्रीट करते हैं to kill bacteria, which doesn't happen in any of them, and then it comes to your homes. So this is a general purification system का chart. Okay, now we come to an important topic, physical and chemical changes, right? What is a physical change? What is a physical property first? Tell me. फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज, वो दिखता कैसा है, वो कौन से स्टेट में है, उसका कलर कैसा है, वो कितना हार्ड है, वो कितना डेंस है, उसका बॉइलिंग पॉइंट क्या है, उसका मेल्टिंग पॉइंट क्या है, दैट इज फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ मैटर. हम विल कंसिडर वाटर हियर. वाटर का कलर क्या होता है? इट्स कलरलेस, राइट? It is not rigid because it is a liquid. It has no hardness. It has a certain amount, certain density, which is highest at 4 degrees Celsius. Boiling point कितना होता है? 373 Kelvin. Melting point कितना होता है? 273 Kelvin. Right? This is the physical property of water. It is a process that changes physical state, and that process is called a physical change. For example, अगर ice to water, liquid water हुआ, तो उसको हम physical change बोलते हैं, because only the physical state has changed. Water H2O remains H2O. Okay. Now chemical property is due to the constituents of the substance. यानी chemical property होती है, it is because of the constituents of the substance. उस substance में क्या क्या है उसके वजह से chemical properties होती हैं. I will take the example of two liquids. Now physical property में they are the same कि वो liquid है, liquid state में, but one is oil, one is water, right? तो उसमें क्या होता है? One of them burns and the other extinguishes fires. So this is a chemical property. Burning is a chemical property. Oil burn होता है वो उसकी chemical property है. Water burn नहीं होता है, वो भी उसकी chemical property है. Any process that changes chemical properties of a substance is called a chemical change or a chemical reaction, right? Chemical change or chemical reaction, for example, burning or combustion, right? It is a chemical property, उसकी property हम change कर रहे हैं. Now we'll talk about types of pure substances, right? On the basis of chemical composition, we will see elements and compounds. What is an element? An element is a basic form of matter, right? And a compound is, this is important to know, मैंने जो underline किया, it is very important to know. A compound is composed of two or more elements chemically combined in a fixed proportion, right? Elements are a basic form of matter, whereas compounds are composed of two or more elements chemically combined in a fixed proportion or ratio. This is very important to remember. Compound is chemically combined, fixed proportion and ratio. These two terms are very important when it comes to compound. An element cannot be broken down into simpler substances by a chemical reaction. An element remains the same after a chemical reaction. It cannot be broken down after a chemical reaction into simpler substances, whereas a compound can be broken down into constituent elements by chemical reaction. A very simple example is H2O. What is H2O? Water. H2O is a compound and the elements of that compound are H2 and O2. Right? So H, hydrogen, and O, oxygen, they are elements and together they combine to form H2O. अगर हम इसमें से electricity pass करते हैं, which becomes a chemical reaction, then H2O can be broken down into H and O. पर हमने अगर हाइड्रोजन या ऑक्सीजन में से केमिकल इलेक्ट्रिसिटी पास किया तो it won't break down further. So that is the difference. These are elements and this is a compound. They are always chemically combined in a fixed proportion. Okay, so elements are a basic form of matter. There are more than 100 different elements and they are arranged in a periodic table. I'm sure you've already seen a periodic table. 92 of those elements are naturally occurring while the rest are man-made. Majority of them are solid. 11 are gaseous at room temperature. For example, hydrogen, helium, nitrogen, oxygen, chlorine. These are gaseous at room temperature. There are two elements which are liquid at room temperature, bromine and mercury. Only two of all these are liquid at room temperature. Normal room temperature कितना होता है? What is the value of room temperature? You have to figure out. If you already know, well and good. If you don't know, you have to find out the value of room temperature. Keep talking about room temperature, पर होता क्या है वो पता होना चाहिए. So find out the value of room temperature. Okay. There are only two elements that are liquid, bromine and mercury. And there are two more elements which liquefy थोड़ा सा ऊपर हो गया तो they become liquid pretty soon, gallium and cesium. Now elements can be metals, non-metals and metalloids, right? They can be differentiated into metals, non-metals and metalloids. We'll see the difference. Metals conduct heat and electricity. Non-metals do not conduct heat and electricity or are poor conductors. करते भी होंगे तो ढंग से नहीं करते. You have to remember these are very important और ये future में हमेशा use होता है. Metals are ductile and malleable. What is ductility? Ductility is a property of a substance to be drawn into a wire. Okay? Ductility is the property of a compound of a substance to be drawn into a wire. You have to remember ductile and D, drawn and D. D दोनों से चालू होता है. So ductile, drawn into wire, whereas malleable means it can be hammered into a thin sheet. So they are ductile and malleable. Non-metals are non-ductile and non-malleable. Okay. Metals are sonorous. Sonorous यानी अगर आपके हाथ से गिर गया तो उसका आवाज आता है. आपके हाथ से अगर कभी कटोरी या ग्लास गिरा हो तो इट मेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ नॉइज, बट नॉन मेटल्स आर नॉन सोनोरस, राइट? मेटल्स आर लस्ट्रस, लस्ट्रस उसको शाइन होता है, नॉन मेटल्स आर जनरली नॉन लस्ट्रस. Metals are also generally silver gray or golden yellow, whereas non-metals can be variety of colors, right? I have given the scientific these things here. I have not written the complete names. You have to know what it means. So examples of metals are iron, gold, copper, silver, sodium, potassium. We have only seen that there are only two elements that are liquid at room temperature. Mercury is one of them, and mercury is the only metal which is liquid at room temperature. Okay, mercury is a metal. Mercury is found in thermometers. Non-metals, for example, hydrogen, oxygen, iodine, carbon, bromine, chlorine. These are all non-metals, whereas metalloids have properties between the both of them. This is very important, by the way. ये दोनों ना ये important है metal non-metal का difference. ये आगे chemistry में बहुत important होता है उसके properties वगैरह. So metalloids have properties between those of metals and non-metals. For example, boron, silicon, germanium, etc. Now coming to compound. What have we learned about compound? Chemically combined in a fixed proportion, right? So we know a compound is chemically combined. Two or more elements are chemically combined in a fixed proportion or fixed ratio, right? Chemically combined, fixed proportion or ratio. There's an example which is given in your book. I don't know if you'll be able to do it at home. You take iron filings and you take sulfur powder, right? उसको ऐसे mix कर दो कटोरी में. कटोरी में मत करो, किसी ग्लास के डिश में करो. You take a magnet and then you bring it close. तो मैग्नेट में you will only get iron filings. तो मैग्नेट से वो iron filings मैग्नेट में चिपक के सेपरेट हो जाता है. You will be able to separate the sulfur and magnet. So it is a heterogeneous mixture, right? Iron filings and sulfur is a heterogeneous mixture. You can remove it by physical methods. मैग्नेट से वो change हो जाता है, निकल जाता है. If you mix them and then you heat them, a new compound is formed. As I said, it is chemically combined, so you need heat. If you heat it, a compound is formed and the entire thing will now be attracted by magnet. यानी उसकी property change हो गई, chemical property change हो गई उसकी, right? Chemical reaction हुआ उसमें heat देने के बाद, that is why they chemically combined. तो chemical reaction हुआ and became a completely different compound, and now the entire thing is attracted by a magnet. Iron pyrite बनता है उसका. This is the difference between a mixture and a compound. We have seen that mixture also mixture होता है, compound भी mixture होता है, but here they just mix together. There is no chemical mix. बस physically आपने एक दोनों mix कर दिया इसलिए हो गया. No new compound is formed. Here they chemically react to form a new compound. A mixture has a variable composition. Composition of each new substance is always fixed. It is in fixed proportion. H2O में वाटर में हमेशा दो हाइड्रोजन और एक ऑक्सीजन ही होगा, राइट? यू कैन नॉट हैव एनी अदर काइंड ऑफ वाटर. उसमें हमेशा दो हाइड्रोजन और हमेशा एक ऑक्सीजन होगा. सो इट इज ऑलवेज द फिक्स्ड प्रोपोर्शन और रेशियो. अ मिक्सचर शोज प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट सब्सटेंसेस, whereas a new substance in compound has a completely new property. इधर देखा ना, entire thing attracted by magnet, whereas generally sulfur is not attracted by magnet. And यहाँ mixture, the components constituents can be separated by physical methods. यहाँ पे you have to use chemical और electrochemical reactions. जैसे H2O को अगर आपने separate करना होगा, you need to pass an electric spark through it to get hydrogen and oxygen, right? So don't try it at home. And this is the difference between mixture and compound. This is also very important. This can also be asked कि mixture और compound में क्या फर्क है? क्या फर्क है? Physical mixing, chemical combination, variable composition, fixed composition. यहाँ पे properties of constituent substances, यहाँ पे totally different properties. यहाँ पे you have separation by physical methods, separation only by chemical or electrochemical methods. Okay, these are four important points that you have to remember. This is a chart that is given in your book. It is a good way to revise everything. So matter divided into pure substance and mixtures, which have no fixed composition. Pure substance into elements and compounds. compounds have a fixed composition and can be broken down only by chemical or electrochemical methods. They cannot be broken down. And यहाँ पे इनके examples दिए हैं. इधर भी elements में we learned about metals and non-metals. So copper and iron are and mercury are metals. Oxygen and hydrogen are non-metals. यहाँ पे compound, for example, water, methane, CH4, sugar, C12H12O6. नहीं, C12H22O11 and salt is NaCl, right? So these are compounds. They are always in this. ये जो number है इसी में होता है ये, और कुछ change नहीं होता इसमें. Homogeneous mixtures can be homogeneous or heterogeneous. So uniform composition, non-uniform composition. And यहाँ पे you have the examples. We have already done this. Finally, what have we learned? We have learned about mixture. We just discussed this. We have learned about homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures. So solutions with solvent and solute, minuscule particles. We learned about the concentration of solution. Suspensions are heterogeneous. Colloids are heterogeneous but tiny particles, and they show the Tyndall effect. They have dispersion medium and dispersed phase. Then we learned about pure substances, elements and compounds, right? Compounds, please remember, chemically combined in a fixed ratio. And we've also seen the difference between mixtures and compounds. Very important again. These two things are very important. Tyndall effect is also, colloids are also actually pretty important. You have to remember that. And this is also important. So 1, 2, 3, 4. These things are very important. Okay, so this is an example. This is a question that is given in your book. मुझे लगा एक बार मैं आपके साथ सॉल्व करती हूँ ताकि it is important for you to know कि question में क्या पढ़ना है. Pragya tested the solubility of 3 different substances at different temperatures and collected the data as given below. Results are given in the following table as grams of substance dissolved in 100 grams of water to form a saturated solution. What have we known? Saturated solution में जितने gram substance होगा, what is that? That is the solubility. So you have seen that we have been given a temperature. We say it is in a given temperature, right? So this is a given temperature. These are different temperatures, पर एक temperature पे सबका दिया हुआ है solubility, right? And we have been given the gram of solute in, this is substance is solute, and water is the solvent in 100 gram of water, and it forms a saturated solution. And you have been given, as I said, a range of temperatures, and हर temperature पे solubility अलग अलग होती है. Please remember, different temperatures पे same solute, same solvent, different solubility, right? You can see that the solubility is increasing. Now the question here is, I'll only do 1 or 2 so that you can do the rest. What mass of potassium nitrate would be needed to produce a saturated solution of potassium nitrate in 50 gram of water at 313 Kelvin? 313 Kelvin में पोटेशियम नाइट्रेट कितना सैचुरेटेड सॉल्यूशन बनाता है? 62 ग्राम. 62 gram of potassium nitrate at 313 Kelvin produces saturated solution of 100 gram of water. But they have asked 50 gram of water, so you need only 31 gram of potassium nitrate. So half of this, 31 gram of potassium nitrate at 313 Kelvin to produce a saturated solution. And I'll also do one more. I'll do C. ये B वाला आप करो. Find the solubility of each salt at 293 Kelvin. Which salt has the highest solubility? 293 Kelvin में देखो. These are the grams per 100 gram of water. So इसकी solubility highest is of ammonium chloride, right? Highest is of ammonium chloride. So this is the answer. Okay. I hope you like this. We have come to the end of it. I hope you like this lesson. If you have any doubts, contact. And thank you.
Thank you for watching the video. If you like the video, please share and subscribe. Any comments and suggestions are also appreciated. You can also write us on xfutureacademy1220@gmail.com. Keep watching, many more videos to come.